He makes her bid for a little piece of history.
Hello and welcome to the Perth Cup Day review edition of the Run of the Race. I'm Mark Warwood. Brittany Taylor not with me this week. She is sunning herself on a cruise ship north of Australia. She will be back though for Miss Andretti Stakes Day on Saturday, and she will be aboard everyone's favourite horse in Jarmies. Let's have a look at Perth Cup Day in review. The 9 races will kick off with race number 1. It was a Crown Perth Plate for the 2-year-olds, and it was won by Miss West Coast.
Around them, Wings on My Feet from Powder Bell. Settling down last is Busy One. By the 550 and Drink What You Like, the debutante just wants to hang off the fence a little on one rein to the corner from Mia Dolce. Noski is now sending Miss West Coast up to join them 3 deep. They've put 2 lengths on Picture Show and a gap Powder Bell followed by Busy One and Wings on My Feet at the 250, and now Noski draws the whip on the favourite. Miss West Coast ranges up. She draws level now, gets about a half a length in front of Mia Dolce and Drink What You Like. On the outside, Miss West Coast, Drink What You Like is fighting back, but she'll be lifted home. She's too good for them. First up, Miss West.
Good performance that by Miss West Coast. She was very well supported on the day. The dogs were barking and Miss West Coast got the job done. She is the follow horse out of that race. It's fastest sectionals all the way home. I think it was significant as well that Jared Noski elected to ride this horse and got down to 55 kilos to do so. He's one of the heavier weighted jockeys in Perth. 55 kilos is a bit of a push for Jared, so he made the effort and he got the prize. She's the follow horse. The Forget horse is Wings on My Feet, who finished last in the race and drifted from 20 to 1 to 50 to 1 on track. And the Forgive horse, willing to give another chance to Busy One from the Moreton Yard, was wide from the outside gate, came back having cast a plate, did have her blinkers on for its debut, did come home with the second fastest sectionals, I think worthy of another consideration. Race number 2 at Ascot on Perth Cup Day was the Tabtage Better Your Bet handicap over the 1600 metres. Let's have a look at the win of Sliced Bread.
Half a length clear of Global Reset. Action Figure in the box seat down on the inside of Acetro. A length and a half to Sliced Bread, and then Flying Target. Now Taylor makes a move with Angelic Ruler. She's 4 or 5 lengths from the lead coming into the home corner as Goku drops out. They'd straightened up and Archad is the first into the home straight by a length and a half. Acetro. Here comes Angelic Ruler down the outside behind them. Action Figure at the 200. It's Archad still in front and still giving cheek, but Angelic Ruler, she starts to lengthen. Here's Angelic Ruler with a Acetro. Sliced Bread's getting through. It's Sliced Bread driving through in the middle and an upset. Sliced Bread.
Very good backup performance that by Sliced Bread. Had run 4 days prior to Perth Cup Day and also turned the tables on a number of her rivals, including Angelic Ruler. So understandably big odds to win on the 5th of January, but Jason Brown got the job done on this horse with the fastest last 200 metres of the race. Doesn't make the file, however. I think the Forget horse is Archant. His now overall ratings have been very similar in most of his decent runs. I think his limitations have been exposed and will go around 2 short next time he appears. The Forgive horse is Angelic Ruler. She bounded on jumping. She lost a couple of lengths there. She had the fastest sectionals apart from the last 200 metres. The effort probably told. I think the follow horse is probably Angelic Ruler. I think you can forgive that run. It may well have been one run too many this campaign, and with the excuses I've already given, I think next time out, maybe over a little bit shorter in a different race, she might be worth backing once again. Race number 3 at Ascot on Perth Cup Day was the Mum Champagne Handicap over 1600 metres, and the King of Lanson, Ash Maley, trained the winner double digit.
Over on the inside, Nelson's Flight was able to hold the front, led by about a neck. Running second, Tycoon Target. In behind them, Mrs. Brown's Boy getting a good run from Rising Sea. It was being trailed then over on the outside by Double Digit. Back behind them, then Royal Statue. Ravelli's got a beautiful inside run coming into the home corner. They'd straightened up at the 300. Nelson's Flight kicked 3/4 of a length in front, but now Mrs. Brown's Boy, Double Digit, run on. Rising Sea down towards the inside. Ravelli got Bork going for a run. Double Digit, Mrs. Brown's Boy. Kennedy draws the whip on Double Digit. Royal Statue starts to charge down the outside, dives but misses.
My co-host on track, Gareth Hall, is still spending his winnings from Double Digit. I think he's backed him 3 times this campaign, all at double digit odds, and therefore there's plenty of money in the Hall bank account at the moment. Double digit, doesn't make the file here though. I don't think he's particularly worth following now. He's not won another race and gone up more in the ratings. I think the Forgive horse out this race is clearly Royal Statue. They considered protesting, did the connections. They decided against it. The fastest last 200 and 400. This horse was 4 3/4 lengths off the lead at the 600 metre pole and still almost won. I think will certainly be winning shortly. The Forget horse is Rising Sea. He's eligible for easy but would have to carry weight after winning what was a pretty poor graduation race a few starts ago. And the follow horse is clearly Royal Statue. This horse should have won this race, will be winning shortly. Race number 4 at Ascot on Perth Cup Day was the Amelia Park handicap over the staying trip of 2,200 metres. And boy, what a performance this was by Mr. Albie.
Unfortunately, favourite backers, the same can't be said for Mr. Albie. He's the one that's done all of the work and covered all of the ground. Upwards others, gets up on the fence from Sentimental Friend, Juicing Carrots in the centre. Around them, Watch Me Nene, Driving Me Wild. Further back, Burger Time, Hey Magic. Homeward Bound, 5 across the track, Mekong Dead, Maserati. Now Mr. Albie, despite being wide, ranges up, grabs them. Sentimental Friend couldn't quicken up. It's 2 lengths behind them with Watch Me Nene running on, and so's Burger Time. Nearing the 100, Mr. Albie, the leader from Sentimental Friend, Watch Me Nene, Maserati, Juicing Carrots along the rail. But Mr. Albie, he's pulling out plenty.
There's a saying in racing 3 wide. Well, Mr. Albie was 300 wide in this race. He loves Belmont and he was closer to that venue than he was the Ascot running rail for the majority of the contest. The fact that he only went pretty slow tempo was the reason why he got away with it, and therefore he doesn't make the file. The Forgive horse is Juicing Carrots, was mildly lame in its off 4. Came home with the second fastest last 200 metres of the race after obtaining clear running. They elected to come here instead of going into the Perth Cup. I think that was the right decision. They just didn't have a great deal of luck on the day. The Forget horse is Sentimental Friend. Probably could have done with a faster tempo, but was still a pretty plain effort. And the follow horse is Maserati. Genuine stayer, probably didn't get the race run to suit, over-raced in the run. I think Maserati in a high-tempo staying race could certainly win for Cliff Green and Daniel Stack. Race number 5 at Ascot on Perth Cup Day was the first of the features. It was the Furphy Summer Scorcher, and it was won scintillating fashion by Misty Medal.
She's controlling matters from G-Boss. A length and a half, Rebel King back there in the clear. Almost a length, Ambiente, which is working up onto the bridle pretty well outside of the kilt. Prophet Street follows Ambiente to the corner. 2 lengths, Snow Lord, and In Love with Paris dropping out last. Into the straight now in the Scorcher. Misty Medal making all haste for the judge. Led 2 lengths, G-Boss. They've kicked away this pair. 3 Rebel King and Ambiente followed by the kilt. But Misty Medal is low flying. Down by the 150. She's 3 in front of G-Boss. Ambiente followed by Rebel King, but she's much too brilliant for the Misty Medal, and Misty Medal ran the bracket to score us.
The numbers out of this race are pretty stark. They went pretty slowly in the opening stages. That enabled Misty Medal to get away with murder on the speed. They went about 3 lengths slower than benchmark to the 600 metres, but they all came home significantly faster than that. Misty Medal came home 10 lengths faster than benchmark over the last 600 metres. She doesn't make the file though. I think he was given to her on a plate. I think the Forgive horse was Ambiente. Elevated heart rate came back with, was lame in the near fall, still managed the 3rd fastest last 200 metres of the race. So Ambiente, whilst disappointing on the day, had excuses. The Forget horse, I think, might be G-Boss, the slowest last 2, 4 and 600 metres after settling second in the run behind Misty Medal. I think he may want the 1,000 metres and not a great deal further. The follow horse is clearly the Celt here, settled 5th, and it was the only horse that wasn't in the first 4 to feature in the finish. Raced in restricted room near the 200 metres. This horse is nearly 5 lengths off the lead with 600 metres to go, and I think just the on-pace bias of the tempo of the race stopped the Celt from beating Misty Medal. I think he's the one to beat in the next race, which is the Miss Andretti Stakes. It's now time to take a commercial break here. We'll be back shortly with more Run of the Race.
Think all betting companies hoard their profits? Not Tab Touch. Not only do we give you a better betting experience on your mic, but out here, a portion of every bet funds a better racing industry. Helps better your race club. Come on! Oh! And helps better local sport. Hey guys! So better your bet with Tab Touch. Don't let the game play you. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
Welcome back to the Run of the Race. We're up to race number 6 on Perth Cup Day. That was the Mrs Max Latrice Classic over 1,800 metres, a Group 3 for the fillies and mares. It was won by Celebrity Dream.
Three deep in running on the outside of Celebrity Dream, who's travelled well. Then Oriental Rose deeper. Over towards the inside, nearing the corner, Awesome As Royal Strata just getting pushed back into the field. Under heavy pressure, Seeking Alpha back there with Larking and Showcase. Into the home straight now, 350 to run. Moo Care livened up in front. Here comes the challenge of Lucky Raw. First Affair's been parked wide. A run came for Fontaine Bleu. And also running on Celebrity Dream, and she's coasting to them. It's Celebrity Dream at the 150, racing to the front. Fontaine Bleu got to second down on the inside, but he's going to pinch it on Celebrity Dream. He gave her a pinch of a ride, and Celebrity Dream wins the last race from Fontaine.
There was a fair bit of chatter leading in to the Latrice Classic about the suitability of 1800 metres for Celebrity Dream. They think Connections did toy with going towards the Summer Scorcher with her over 1,000 metres. They too thought that she might not see out the 9 furlongs, but the way the race was won, well, it couldn't have set up any better for Celebrity Dream. They didn't go particularly hard. It wasn't a truly run 1800 metre contest, and as they turned for home, there was only one horse she wanted to be on, and that was Celebrity Dream. I don't think she proved anything about her suitability over the 1800 metres in winning it, but she won another listed race, and she has farmed these fillies and mares races in the last 2 seasons. Looking at the file though, the Forgive horse for mine was Lucky Raw, sat second in a much slower tempo than the Starstruck Classic. I think it was a tactical mistake. I think they should have gone to the front and they should have taken the speed to the race. The Forget horse is Mouquet, finished third in this, led what was a very slow tempo, third slowest last 200 metres. She's got black type placing on her CV now, but I don't think she'll get it in another race. The follow horse, I think, is Fontaine Bleu, a bit like Lucky Raw. The race wasn't run to suit. It was a sit and sprint set up for Celebrity Dream. Fontaine Bleu battled on to finish third, but she just simply doesn't have the turn of foot, and she needed to be more of a genuine test. Race number 7 at Perth Cup Day was the Ascend Sales Handicap over the 1100 metres, and it was won on the rail by Disruptive.
600 mark, and Disruptive went through on the inside to grab a slender lead from Key to Fame. Cognac got planted very wide. Shackleton's getting the run of the race. Kiwanzo directly down on his inside, fourth into the home corner, being followed by Double Jeopardy right off the track from Denim Pack, My Demi. Further back then came Tycoon Legend at the top of the home straight, and Alpha Sky getting involved in a bumping duel with the big fellow Dutch Spy back there, and he's in some bother at the 200 mark, and Double Jeopardy ranged up on the outside. Key to Fame, Cognac and Disruptive kicking back. Shackleton trying hard. Capanda on the inside, battling back. They reached the line. Disruptive, Shackleton.
You'd love to own Disruptive. He's got an excellent winning strike rate, and he made all of his own luck in this race. And I think that was the key here. A lot of the runners behind were absolutely luckless. So looking at the file, I think the Forget horse will be Disruptive. Goes up in the ratings for winning this contest. Led pretty much all of the way. And when there was carnage out wide, he just kept on going and going and going. Got the job done, but I think that might be the end of it for now. Forgive horse has to be Shackleton, was past fit before the race, had a gum abrasion, was then impeded until the 100 metres in the straight. Very, very unlucky run from Shackleton. The follow horse, however, probably had an even more unlucky run, and that was Double Jeopardy. Finished third, was wide without cover all of the way. Third slowest last 200 metres as the effort told on this galloper. Was listed as 1100 metre race, but I do think Double Jeopardy ran about 13 or 1400 metres, and I think we'll be winning quite shortly. Is entered on Saturday, could be worth backing. Race number 8 on Perth Cup Day was the main event. It was the Tap Touch Perth Cup over 2400 metres at Group 2 level, and it was won by the Cup's King, Peter Hall, aboard Star Exhibit.
Further back, Prying Tom, prize catch. Right off the track, Perfect Duel. Gaddings back in heavy traffic. Followed further back, Royal Star, Star Exhibit, Queen Bay. Then Elegant Blast. Back towards the tail, Dark Musket. Prying Tom dropped out quickly on the point of the home corner of the Cup, and Capodoro led the way from Brothers Keeper. Pike's about to stalk them though with the favourite Action. Here comes Action behind the Mississippi Delta. She looks to have had enough. Prize catch, and now into the clear, Star Exhibit. 150 to go. Action reaches the lead. Star Exhibit starts to cut it down. Star Exhibit and Action. Star Exhibit does it again, I think, in the Cup. He does. Star Exhibit.
An 8th Cup win for Bob and Sandra Peters, and the 8th horse to win multiple editions of the Cup Star Exhibit, the first one since the early 1980s. Looking at the file here, the Forgive horse, I think, has to be Mississippi Delta. Did finish 4th, but was wide most of the way, despite drawing a central gate, and just simply wasn't able to sprint late after the run. The Forget horse, well, there's plenty here, but I'm going to go with It's a Him. Beats only Khartoum, and Khartoum, the Eastern States visitor, had plenty of excuses, including getting here only a couple of days before the race. And the follow horse, I think it might be Star Exhibit. 30 to 1 in hindsight was way too big, had fastest sectionals all the way home. And if you go back through the form book, his staying form beyond 2,000 metres between his cup wins was actually pretty good. So in hindsight, I think he was probably the forgotten horse of the race. Race number 9 at Perth Cup, on Perth Cup Day was the Seppelts the Drive handicap over 1,200 metres, and it was won by Beat the Devil.
2 years led the way by a length, stalking him, Beat the Devil. Sharkmouth planted 3 deep, getting up on the inside, Lord Ludlow. Handy to them there is Bon Voyage. Fine sent 4 wide at the corner, being followed by Sixpence Spent. Over towards the inside is Dong Ji Woo coming around the turn, and Princess Zelda. It's Caracapo the first into the straight though at the 250 from Beat the Devil. Bon Voyage called upon, Lord Ludlow's there at the 200. Beat the Devil ranges up, joins Caracapo. Princess Zelda further back runs on the outside. Beat the Devil, Caracapo fighting back, but Beat the Devil beat them off, and Beat the Devil wins the last of the day from Princess Zelda.
Good performance that by Beat the Devil, and he makes the file as well as the follow horse. He was tough. He did it at both ends. He's still eligible for this graduation grade. I think there's more wins in store for Beat the Devil. The Forget horse is Bon Voyage. Both of its wins have been at Bunbury. Now far too many disappointments in town, and because it goes around with the Cerise and White and often William Pike on its back, it means it goes around under the odds. The Forgive horse, willing to give another chance to Caracapo. It was its first run for 721 days, had the blinkers on for its return. And look, the jury's still out about this horse's ability. There's fairly big raps on it. Thought it ran okay on Perth Cup Day. We'll want to see it do a little bit better next start. Let's have a look at the overall performances on Perth Cup Day, and the best overall rating, unsurprisingly, goes to Star Exhibit in the Perth Cup, minus 8.7 lengths to the overall benchmark, and even to the class of the Class 2, it was minus 3.7. Also took home the best class rating of the day as well, with that minus 3.7. So a sensational performance by Star Exhibit, and we get some great stories out of the Cup, and what a great story that was. Star Exhibit coming back to form, and Peter Hall, who loves the Perth Cup, winning it once again. Having a look at the fastest closing sectionals on the day, Profit Street with 11.08 was the fastest last 200 metres. In Love with Paris at 21.85 for the 400 metres. And the Celt, a horse to follow, I think, 32.80 in the Summer Scorcher over the last 600 metres. It's now time to take another commercial break. We'll be back with more Run of the Race after this.
At Tab Touch, our bettering department comes up with new ways to better your betting experience, like putting better features at your fingertips, such as Sky Racing and Superpick.
But if you think we're just doing what every other betting company does, think again.
Because we're also giving a portion of every bet to fund a better racing industry. And better your local. So better your bet with Tab Touch.
Don't let the game play you. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
Welcome back to the Run of the Race. It's now time to wrap up the tipping competition, PR Tip Style, that was running throughout the Ascot Racing Carnival. 13 rounds. Round 13 was Perth Cup Day. Let's have a look at the results from that day. The best possible score you could have got was just over 3,500 points. You needed Star Exhibit as your best bet at $36.60 to win and $8.90 the place. And you needed all of the winners barring race number 6. That was Celebrity Dream, the winner. Much better odds was Mooka to place at $6.30. The winner on Perth Cup Day was Ian McKenzie with a score of 2,789 points. Congratulations, Ian. You've won the prize of $500 of a cheque and a $500 voucher from Crown Perth. Just the 3 winners for Ian: Slice Bread at $13.40 and $2.20. Misty Medal at $3.40 and $1.50, and of course Star Exhibit in the Perth Cup. He had his big bet on Star Exhibit, and that was ultimately the difference between winning and losing. 13 rounds all over, so let's have a look at the overall leaderboard, and the winner of the overall tipping competition and the prize of a $500 voucher from Crown Perth and a $2,000 cheque from Perth Racing is Hansi Money, a horse owner well known for his connections in the likes of Gadding and other horses with impressive racing. Mr Money got the job done. He won a weekly prize, and his score of 8,279.40 was the best score over the 13 rounds. So well done, Hasney. Second was Claire Ryan with Roundup Ryan, 7,410 points for Claire. She didn't win a weekly prize. She was just a model of consistency all the way through. And then third was Brennan Fines, BJF 77 with 7,403.80. Brennan won one of the early rounds, tipped Mr. Albie at about $45 and was always there on the leaderboard. He wins the third prize. The second prize declared was $1,000 plus a $500 voucher, and Brennan takes home a $500 voucher and a $500 cheque. Congratulations to everybody that took part. Hope you had a lot of fun. perthracing.racingtipoff.com is the URL. We will be back shortly with another tipping competition here at Perth Racing. What's coming up shortly is Miss Andretti Stakes Day at Ascot Good Times. It's a feature race, it's a listed race over 1,100 metres. Let's have a look at the last three editions of this race.
Call Silver Stream, and here comes first among equals with his run. Lucky Street beat off Dewton down to the 100 though. First among equals trying to run him down, but Harvey draws the persuader. Lucky Street responds as first among equals closes the margin but didn't get there, and Lucky Street all the way beat. Star is next. Look at Volkov coming down the outside. She ranged up at the 150 and hit the front. She dropped them off. She led a length and a half to King's Troop, and now Durandell. He's coming late. Volkov shaken up though, close to home. Too good. And it's Volkov home in the Miss Andretti from Durandell. He went to work. Kai Perinya led 2 lengths. Here comes Dainty Test down the outside at the 150. Kai Perinya's the leader. Dainty Test, she's making a massive effort to run her down, but she won't. And Kai Perinya's too good. Kai Perinya scored by a lot.
Lucky Street, Volkov and most recently Kai Perinya winning the Miss Andretti Stakes. That will be the main event on Saturday at Ascot Racecourse. 8 races will start at 12:48 and run through to 5:15. The feature event, the Miss Andretti Stakes, will be race number 6 at 3:55. Don't forget, announced this week, Perth Racing will be holding Wednesday twilight meetings for the next 6 weeks. So starting on the 23rd of February, we'll be racing from around 3 o'clock in the afternoon until approximately 30 minutes before sunset. The first one will finish around 6:45. It's as late as we can go in the day without lights here at Ascot Racecourse. Thanks for your time here on the run of the race. Brittany and I will be back next week with a review of more action here at Ascot Racecourse.
She makes her bid for a little piece of history.